All right, so we are wiring up and finishing construction of a new brooder unit here, and had a lot of requests for a view on how the wiring works for these. So what we are controlling is obviously our lights, fan in the back, and heaters here that keep our chicks warm, and then the thermostat controls that run all of these things. And so here is the guts of this system that is on a wall that will roll to close the container here. But for right now, this should serve the purpose. So I guess we'll just walk through the main parts here. We're bringing in 240 power here on a 50 amp circuit, right? Yep. 50 amp coming in to power the unit. And then we have feeds going out for heaters here and here. What's that, the fan?
That's the third heater for option.
The third heater. Sure. Third heater option, if we want to put that in. These two are controlling our thermostats, and then we have fan control and thermostat there. And yeah, and lights. All right, so over here, these are the thermostats. So they are receiving power coming in, and then inputs from the thermostats themselves, which will be hanging here down next to the heaters. And so what the thermostat does, that will respond to your inputs of what you've set your temperatures for. That will kick on power here, which will come up to these relays, and that will trigger the power to go to the infrared heater. And the reason you have relays is because there's too much amperage going through that wire for the thermostat to handle. So the thermostat triggers a relay, which sends all the juice to the heaters.
Now, but don't believe a poultry website or anything saying these can handle it. Now, these are technically rated to handle it, but even these, which are rated for much more amperage, do burn out. And I can tell you right now, these are a lot cheaper than these guys.
Yes.
So if you're going to burn out something, in which these do burn out, even on these heaters, really easy to replace these. A pain in the butt to replace these guys, and much more expensive.
Yeah, you're looking at a $150 part there and a $20 part up there. All right, so the other control unit is right here. This is a percentage timer, and so that is what controls the fan. So when you are setting it up, you can set the interval you want, so anywhere from 4 hours to 30 seconds. And then your percentage here is how long it will run for that period of time. So right there, it's on 10 minutes for 10%. So that will run for 60 seconds. The fan kicks on down there. Once the time is up, it will automatically shut off, and it will do that until you tell it otherwise. Now, if your brooder gets too hot, that is what the third thermostat is for, and that is set to turn on when the temperature rises too hot. And so that is a separate wiring that will bypass the percentage timer and turn the fan on directly. So there's a couple different ways that you can do that, and I would talk to a qualified electrician or someone who knows what they're doing before you tackle all this yourself. But this is the basic guts of how the control system works for the brooder, and this automates a lot of the features that you'd normally be out there spending a lot of time, checking your heat bulbs and opening windows and closing windows. That's all automatic here. The heat comes on when it needs to, it turns off when it needs to, the fan comes on when you tell it to, and then it has a override. Should it get too hot in here, it will turn on automatically. We've got drinker systems, that'll be a whole nother video, and then obviously feeders and so on, but that's the basics of it. Hope that answered some of your questions. If you got more, feel free to drop them below, and we'll show you this functioning brooder once it's up and going here in a few days, and we'll see you then.